Hey traders, a very warm welcome to you. Right, in this video we're going to talk about the biggest dangers of being a part-time day trader. Stay tuned. Hey guys, warm welcome to you. Right, so biggest dangers of being a part-time day trader. Appreciate that you've got to do what you've got to do, right? If you have another job, you have a business, if you're a student, whatever it may be, I realize that not everybody has the time to put every single hour, every single trading day into day trading, whatever market that may be. However, you have got to be a little bit careful when you're part-time day trading that you don't fall into some of these traps. Now, the decision you've got when you're trading part-time is, do I day trade or do I swing trade? Now, in a perfect world, if you could just tick a box and become that kind of trader, then a swing trader is by far the better option for somebody who is a part-time trader. And if I'm honest, guys, it's probably better for being a full-time trader. If you can make swing trading work for you, it's probably better than being stuck to the screen. However, there's something to be said that it's obviously down to what you like to do, enjoy to do, what you're good at as well. So it's not just as easy as picking and saying, hey, I want to be a swing trader. You know, if you're good at day trading, if you have an edge that's working there, if you have a kind of enjoyment for doing it and doing that, quick decision making and how things change so much intraday, then that's the way it is. So if you're going down this day trading route, but you can't commit to every single day, now, there's also something to be said before we carry on with this, guys, is that even if you are full-time and you're trading every day, or you have the opportunity to trade every day, it doesn't mean you need to trade every day. There's some days when it's best to see what's happening and go, you know what, nothing is happening, I'm going to get on and do something else, whatever that something else may be. That may be for 2 or 3 days in a row. It could even be for a whole week. And then literally 2 weeks later, you're slammed and you're there on the screens all day long. So, you know, it's variable. But what I want to point out in this video is when you're a part-time day trader, in terms of that you are forced to trade on specific days. So let's say you're working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you have Thursday, Friday off, or you work, you know, Monday to Friday until 7 p.m. and you can come and trade. You get back and you can trade between 7:30 and 9 if you're in Europe, or whatever. You get the point. The point is you've got a fixed window and you have to trade. So the dangers of that are this: not to say that you can't do it and you can't make it work for you. It's great to be able to learn. And I've always been, you know, an advocate of saying, listen, if you've got a job and you've got something, you've got some income there, don't just chop it off to go into trading. You know, build yourself up, you know, build your experience and pot up before you do that. And, you know, you might be able to run both in parallel for a long, long time. Okay, so number one, you get frustrated when you miss big moves. This is the big thing, right? If you know that you can't be there on a certain day or whatever it may be, and there's a big move, then we automatically assume that we would have captured that big move and made a lot of money. And that's natural, and it's not always the case. So the easy way to get around this is to say to yourself, well, hey, it may well have been a big move, it may well have done something that's interesting. Doesn't necessarily mean I wouldn't have got myself into trouble. So, you know, I can't be there, I have to face that fact, and it's not necessarily that I'm going to always make money when there's big moves around. So if you could distinguish that and say, well, it's not actually lost revenue, okay, it's opportunity, but that's it. And it becomes a little bit more easier to swallow. Second thing, guys, is you expect the market to deliver when you're at the screens. I think this is the biggest one. Right? If you have a set time you can come to the screens, you come in, you sit down, you turn on your monitors, you sit there, you survey what's going on, and you say, right, give me a good trade, Mr. Market. And it doesn't work like that. As we know, you might not have an opportunity. The opportunity might literally have been an hour before you sat down, and you have to deal with that. It might be plenty of opportunity. But what we often try to do is you often try to force the trade. We try to there's going to be a setup, and we then become much more flexible on the entries that we're taking, the trade and setups we're taking. We're like, oh, it's close enough, but I've only really got an hour left to the trading day, so if I miss it, I'm going to miss the whole thing. Whereas when you're trading and you can trade whenever you want, you've got the opportunity and go, you know what, I don't want to take it because I just don't like the way this is setting up. It's not a grade A plus. I'm going to leave it. There's an opportunity tomorrow. Whereas if you're trading part-time, that opportunity might not come until next week. And so that can kind of get and work its way in your mind. So the best way around that is to try to come to terms with the fact that, hey, I need to be strict. I need to be managing the risk. I need to be trading as if I'm going to have an opportunity. And the opportunity will come, but of course it just means it's a longer period of time until the next one. And that can be challenging mentally to deal with. The third thing is you try to watch the markets when you can't trade. So we've all been there, especially if you're part-time, you kind of look at the markets and you try to watch it when you should be doing something else. You know, I like technology. You know, I love the fact that we can monitor stuff on our phones, on tablets, etc., etc., etc. You know, it's great. But you have to be mindful that being able to switch off, even as a full-time trader, guys, is crucial. And when you're committed to doing something, then commit to doing that. You know, there's no point if you're spending time with your family or your children or your friends or whatever to constantly be checking the market. It doesn't make any sense to do that. You know, leave it there, come back to it later and check it when you've got sole focus on it, because all it's going to do is put you half in two camps. It never serves you, because you're always thinking, oh, there's an opportunity there, or you know, this or that, the other, and you're not giving your full attention to whatever it is you're doing, even if that is a social thing, even if that's a family thing, even if it's a gym, you know. And guys, hands up, you know, I've been sitting on that bench and I've gone, oh, just have a quick look and see what the Dow's doing and stuff. And yes, if that's part of your strategy and like, hey, I've got a position, I want to monitor it, and fine. But you know, just doing it for the sake of it, it doesn't make any sense to do it, especially if you're part-time, you're looking at it, you can't do anything about it anyway. Another thing is, you get tempted to use technology to trade. So the temptation is, and this comes up for all these things, that you think you're going to miss a bigger move, you think the opportunity's not always there, you get frustrated, that constantly feel like you're missing stuff. You tend to like, oh, I'll just put a trade on through my phone, I'll just do this, and that's just not the way to do it. Listen, we've talked about phone stuff before. If it's a level that you're prepared, you've planned it, then that's different. But if you're trading on a whim, you see this market move, you know, you think, oh, I was going to go long cable now, you buy it. You're not trading really, you're more like a gambler, and because you fear of missing out and all this kind of stuff. So, you know, you'll get more tempted to do that when you're trading part-time than you do full-time. Now, that's not to say it's excluded for full-time, because at the end of the day, guys, markets trade 24 hours a day. Most of them do anyway, unless you're trading, say, some particular stocks or shares that are trading on an exchange. But, you know, we've got the futures, the index futures trading all overnight. We've got currencies trading overnight. And it can even be the same thing as a full-time trader. You come in, you think, well, action seems to be happening all overnight. And again, it's the way you position and think about it. And the better way to think about it is, listen, if there's action, it means that there's always going to be opportunity at some point, rather than I've missed it. All right, the final thing, guys, is day trades turn into swing trades. So you end up in a day trade, let's say you trade in the evening, because that's the time you've got to trade. You have a trade on, and then it's not quite going your way, and you think, well, I'll just hold it because I still think it's going to go right. I don't want to close it because I won't have to trade tomorrow or the next day or the next day, or I won't be able to trade until the evening. I want to kind of hold it in the morning. And you end up stretching, adjusting, bending your rules just to suit your time rather than the market. At the end of the day, guys, if you have a specific time that's available for you to day trade, you have got to come in with fresh eyes. You've got to do all your analysis, preparation, pick your trades, and accept the fact you are going to miss a heap of trades, just as if you were only trading during daylight hours if you were trading at a full time. You know, that's the way that it is, and there's going to be markets that you miss, there's going to be plenty of things you miss. The good thing is you're getting screen experience. You're allowing yourself to grow as a trader. And you know, all that stuff is invaluable. It's not about the P&L so much. Of course, everyone wants to make money. That's the whole point with doing it, right? But you know, when you're trading part-time, it's there as a learning. It's almost like an after work kind of evening class, if you like. So you're learning, you're improving, and every day you don't take a trade is one more notch higher of saying, well, I waited for the setup, didn't get a setup, but I saw this kind of thing. All right, what's my note? So it's not without value, even if you're not actually making trades, you're not kind of putting money in the bank, it's still worth doing. But just watch out, you don't get caught out. I've seen it so many times before, especially this one. You know, you expect the market to give you something when you are at the screens, and okay, sometimes it does because the volatility is there, it's continual opportunity, and sometimes it doesn't, and you have to just be able to go, you know what, it's not there, it's the way it is, it's my position at the moment, I'm going to deal with it, I'm going to carry on regardless. All right, guys, just be careful if you're trading part-time as a day trader, some of those dangers. Otherwise, keep your risk managed. I'll see you next one. Bye bye.